Hello, hello, hello. It is nice today and cozy, and I got yet another flower color that I want to present. And I want to talk about a couple of words that I researched on the internet. Um, Research the word theo, theosophy, theology, and telescope. I mean, I already knew the words, but I was researching the origins of words, the linguistics of it. Yes, Papa Dog. There's the Papa Dog. Got on my chair. Yes, the gorgeous, gorgeous Papa Dog. Yes, I love a Papa Dog more than anything in the entire eternal universe. Yes. The Papa Dog is my everything god. Yes, he is my orange god. That's what he is. Yes. The orange god, the orange king. Awesome, awesome. And this is kind of orange too. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. This is a lovely salmon color. Oh gosh, I love it. I'm absolutely delighted about this. This is delightful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh, this has a bit of a. Okay, I'm making a video. This has a bit of a citrus, maybe a little bit mandarin type of smell. Very nice. So they adjust the smell to the color. I love it. Very fresh. Wonderful. It's fresh. So theo comes from Greek and means God. So theology, obviously, is the study of the gods and religions. Not necessarily within one religion, but about the religions in a historical way, like study something from a historical point of view, from an unbiased point of view. So Dr. Alan W. Anderson is my favorite theologist. He no longer exists in that form that he was in during the 70s and 80s. I think he died sometime after 2000, 2006 or 2007, something like that, and was very old. He was a professor at the university in San Diego, Cal State University, I believe. So, very, very famous, amazing professor. Very popular with the students because he was always friendly and always nice and always introspective. So, and then we have the word telescope. So all of these words somewhere in a roundabout way tie in with one another. The word THE is, these letters are in that as well. So it is related to Theo in some way, in some remote way. And Jiddu Krishnamurti really brought me onto this because he was talking to Dr. David Bohm about these words, the word origins, and they came to the conclusion that they weren't even mentioning tail, they were mentioning just te something else was Teo in it. That was word related to seeing. And that directly, it was like an eye opener, literally, seeing. It reminded me of our trip from the desert back home. And I talked about this in detail. I think that is in the video on my other channel, Animal Lovers Support Group Kenny Redwood, in which I talked about this particular subject, the trip from Nevada back. I don't know which channel, so I always get them mixed up anyway. So I have 2 tablets, so I make videos for both channels. Yes, we have the travel tablet, and this is my home tablet, but they're like kind of like the same tablet, slightly different. So kit tablets was a wonderful frame, and I'm very sad that the Kindle ebook reader was updated out. Very sad about this, because I don't want a different tablet. I don't want a Kindle tablet that is thin and falls out of my hand and all of that. I like the way this feels, this particular frame. I don't care that it is particularly made for kids with this extra protection thing in it, which makes it kind of hard to use, but I figured it out, so I can skip the other part. I stay in the mommy mode. So mommy mode, mommy with dog baby. So, and this I put in my papa dog, the photo, as my baby. But he doesn't use the tablet. So yeah, Teo actually is word related to seeing. So on our way back from Nevada, we came across and above and beyond 3 very treacherous mountain passes, and I was very worried because it started to hail a little bit, it started to rain a little bit here and there, and incredible, the most dramatic weather clouds appeared at the horizon and above us, and the sun shining through those weather clouds. The setting sun was shining through, and we could see all the way to the horizon because we were up high, and even though we were inland, we were up high over the mountain passes. We could see way into the distance, and the sun was a dramatic theater play of cloud formations. And I was sitting there on edge with my hands folded, scared, while Paul was driving, and I was always looking to see if the papa dog is okay, and he didn't mind. And was very, very scary. There was a rock in the road right there, over there by the Nevada-Oregon border, way out there in the desert, on these real high mountain passes. Suddenly there was a real large rock in the road, and I got real scared, and I tugged on Paul's shirt and I said, you gotta be real careful now driving around this rock. And in the nick of time, because he was looking like, oh, nice landscape, and I got real scared. I always get real scared when he does that. He takes things for granted too much. It only takes a fraction of a second of not looking, and some terrible thing can happen. You can swerve off the path, and it happens all the time to people. We even saw a woman drive against a rock wall. It was very traumatic. Also on that same trip, the next day, when we were getting closer to home, in the last mountain range. But during the first mountain range, we just barely bypassed that rock. I was so infinitely grateful. I knew the blue God was protecting us, And then I saw these cloud formations, and there were the two eyes, you know. Yeah, I think it was on this channel. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I also talked about it on the other channel, but on this one too. Because I demonstrated the eyes with the Play-Doh, with the blue Play-Doh. So yeah, the eyes appeared, and not just one time, but in 3 different places, and in 3 completely new and different cloud formations. So, and the blue god with a very warm smile in the eye, and he said, "Don't worry, I have my eyes on you." So, and there it is, the blue god, Theo. Theo, I see. Theo is the one who sees you. And people make all kinds of images out of this, from their own fantasy and imagination and stuff like that. But the infinite cosmos is there independently from these ideas that people create about their gods, and there are so many that have been created. But there's just one infinite cosmos, and that is the blue god. Okay? And that blue god doesn't adhere to any religion at all. I think the Hindus have understood, they have somehow, I think they had much more of an intuition, and not all Hindus, but very ancient, very, very ancient people, whether it was one person or several, or if they had collective ideas about it, but they have painted the blue god in their version, in the Hindu version, but it is Lord Vishnu. I don't adhere to the Hindu religion. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that comes from the Hindu religion. There is some wisdom that comes from it, but a lot of that has been distorted over time, and I don't know who developed it, or if it gradually evolved, or if people had insights into something, or if they took some teacher plans that got them to look into it. I don't know. I think it gradually evolved, and then some people, they had this intuition about the blue god, and then they made several gods, and many gods, and many thousands of gods that people created in their fantasy. There's nothing wrong with it, but when they start to, oppress others with that, that's when it becomes a problem. That's what religion is in today's sense of the word, is oppression. Okay, so we want to stay away from this, but there's the infinite cosmos, and the infinite cosmos is the blue god. I would say he is Lord Vishnu, okay, or Lord Vishnu. Yeah, it's one of the depictions of the blue god. My depictions are very different to that. They are very abstract, of course. But he has these 2 rectangular shaped eyes, and they appeared one time during a, I'm not going to call it poisoning, but because it's not a poison, I overdosed on a plant, and so I had this, it was a very mild and a very wonderful hallucination. And the typical sun, the flickering sun appeared, and then suddenly inside of that sun, one eye of the blue god, in exactly the way I painted, appeared in the middle of that sun. So in my vision field inside of the brain, but it was almost like a hologram looking into the living room. It was almost, it appeared almost like a hologram, like a holographic apparition in the middle of the room, just staring in the room. There was the sun, flickering sun, and suddenly the blue god eye appears in the middle of that sun and looks at me with a very concerned look, because after that my blood pressure went way down, my heart rate went almost to zero, and my husband was shaking me back up, and he gave me Dr. Schultz's charcoal pills. But what the blue god wanted to say is, you make that decision. You are making the ultimate decision. Whatever you're playing around with, Russian roulette, maybe unconsciously or consciously, whatever there's another instance above that makes the ultimate decision on what you really want to do, whether you want to exit or stay. So yeah, I was like, okay, I stay. I don't like to, but okay. It was also very scary while I was walking towards my recliner chair. I almost didn't make it. And then as I got into the recliner chair, I fell unconscious. And my husband shook me back up. So that was in 2013, somewhere after my birthday, I think in May. Yeah. It was all very, very, it was very hard times, very difficult times for me. Very difficult times. Lots of clinging, lots of expectations. When we harbor expectations inside of us, we get into a mind state of clinging and attachment. And when we do this, we stand in our own way of achieving these things that we want to happen. And particularly when we feel like, oh, now or never, this kind of feeling, it's totally unrealistic. It's just an emotion. Now or never is. There's no such thing. There's always now. There's never. There's always now. Now is the moment. Okay? And whatever that moment contains, whatever feelings that moment contains, it's still now. And it doesn't, the now doesn't run away. We use the word never only for verbal communication. But there's really no such thing as never. I mean, from a wider perspective, so there's no such thing as a limitation. From our perspective here, we can say the word never. Okay. We can say, I'm not going in this direction, I'm going in this direction. I'm not going in that direction, I'm going in that direction. Or I'm not going in that direction, I'm going in that direction. So I will never go in that direction. I can say that. But the infinite cosmos has no time. And because of that, there is no never, and there's no ever, and there's no beginning, no end. There is no finality, there is no time frame at all. But that's from a much wider perspective of the infinite cosmos, of course. We live here in this, we live in a time frame continuum. This is a time frame space that we live in. So, and that creates our perspective on things. But we have to also keep in mind that things do elude out of that perspective frame when we get far enough out, which we could never do, never, maybe sometime. So, but it appears like this at this point in time, at least. So even when we go to Mars, we're still in the same time frame continuum. Mars is not that far away. So, but if we get outside of the solar system, we get outside of maybe of this one universe, get into the beyond, into the infinite cosmos out there. I don't know. Time shifts there. Things shift. And that's okay. Theo, seeing. The blue god sees. He has eyes. But he's genderless. There's no. We have the tendency to give gods a male attribute because the father figure, you know, the father who has throughout history always been the more muscular guy than the mother. So because of that, he got away with everything, he dominated everything. Thus, out of this comes that idea of, which is sexist, comes that idea of giving your God a male attribute. But there's only one, this, the infinite cosmos. It's beyond religion. It's beyond thought, beyond thinking. It's beyond our time frame perspective. It's beyond our self-images that we're constantly making. And we're all part of it, but that doesn't mean that we are gods. We are carbon-based life forms. We have an essence, a soul in us. The souls originate from the stream of sorrow. Some souls have had a longer journey behind them. Some souls get to angel level, some souls get to God level. Very few get to the Buddha level, and there's only one infinite cosmos. Maybe at some point we will merge into the infinite cosmos, and then there is no more soul. That is the end of the soul journey. We merge into the infinite cosmos. We become one, like this here. And you start merging with it, merging. And then it's just this one. All one. All alone. Alone. All one. as David Bohm said. So, but there's a stream of sorrow, Jiddu Krishnamurti said. And they were asking him, where does this come from? Where is that stream of sorrow? Oh, it's everywhere. It's just, it's not a specifically determined. It's kind of like cyberspace or something. A cyberspace, stream of sorrow, suffering. And out of this suffering stream, new souls come out of it. And they go onto their journey. And they're like babies. They don't know anything. Right, left, up, down. They don't know about that they can put themselves into the perspective of someone else. They're only suffering and right now, and they want help. So we need to help them. The journey is to go within oneself. And it is pure luxury to do that, to go within oneself. No longer expect anything from outside. And I've done that too. I had severe crushes. I had these feelings of I need to get to this guy. I need to fulfill this end dream. And it's just a self-image, that's all it is, and nothing else. And so much anxiety has been attached to that. This inner, it's like an inner agitative tremor or something. Like this restlessness. It's a restless state of mind, like I need to, I get from A to B, from A to Z. No, I don't need to do anything. I can just stay in bed and sleep as long as I want to. No, there's nothing to get. Except some flower potty. That is awesome and makes me happy. Yeah, I don't need to go from A to Z for this. I go to the Dollar Tree store, I pay $1 for this, and I have it. That's fantastic. Right? So, and it's pure luxury. And what's even more luxurious is if we stop wanting something from someone else. It's nothing to get from someone else. I am here, you are there. Some people are beyond, some people are here, right and left and up and down. Yeah? And I am somewhere in there. And it doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you are. You are where you are, you can make the best out of it. In any given situation. That's the beauty of it. That's when we stop clinging to an externality. That's when we stop coveting. Krage is the Sanskrit word for that. Krage. Kralle means claw in German. Kralle. Krage. Very word related. Clawing, wanting, striving, strive. This is what dominates the human species. If we understand this, really understand it, not like, oh yeah, let's do Vipassana, and then in a roundabout way, they want to be respected as a guru, they want to charge money. Oops, there, Krage bit itself in the butt again. That's not vipassana, and that is not helping anyone. Okay? Being a guru is not, that's not helping anyone. But freeing yourself from all of that. That creates such an energetic shift that it helps others as well. Can you imagine if we all started doing this? We can shift it all instantly. The entire status quo of the world can be shifted instantly. From the state of misery to the state of paradise. Let's help Elon Musk. Help him instead of putting rocks in his road. Help this man. He's a Buddha level. He's here to help. I don't know how to shake you up with this. Yeah. He's here to help us. But the people immersed in Krage, they don't want to see, they don't want to hear. They just want their income, their very narrow-minded pittance clinging. It's a pittance. We can make a paradise on this planet, okay, that goes much beyond a CEO of Lockheed Martin, Eli Lilly, Exxon Mobil, or Monsanto, or Bayer. We can make a paradise on this planet. You can help by letting go of the clinging. By helping Elon Musk. So it's my message to Mercedes-Benz also. Okay, you guys take care. Bye bye. Help Elon Musk. Let him make solar powered vans. Okay, so you guys take care.